is a live presentation of CBC Sports. Today on Sports Weekend, Helsinki hosts a skating spectacular. A new European men's champ is set to reign, and the long-awaited ascension of ice dancers Isova and Zulin heralds a display of grace and artistry. Meanwhile, the freestylers heat up chilly Lake Placid. Philippe Laroche knows these New York airwaves well. He's looking to touch down with World Cup gold.
Good afternoon, everybody. On this final weekend of January, I'm Jamie Campbell. It's Super Bowl weekend south of the border, and it looks like plenty of support in these parts for those Buffalo Bills bidding to win their first Super Bowl in 3 tries. Now, in addition to our freestyle and figure skating today, Brian Williams will preview the Super Bowl of alpine skiing, the World Championships beginning next week in Japan. We'll hear from Brian in the final hour of our show. We'll have exclusive coverage of the World Championships on Sports Weekend the next 3 Saturdays. Now, our timetable today has freestyle skiing first out of the gate, followed by show 2 of the European Figure Skating Championships from Helsinki. Barb Underhill and Paul Martini will join Chris Cuthbert for the Europeans. That's about 70 minutes from now, following freestyle skiing. Other activity on the ice this afternoon comes from a couple of National Hockey League locations, Montreal and Pittsburgh. At the Forum, the Canadiens played host to the NHL's favorite visitors, the Ottawa Senators, losers of 25 in a row, away from home in a matinee contest. Pick it up, first period of play. Eric Desjardins with a drive beating Daniel Berthiaume for his 10th of the year. That made it 3-0 Montreal. Canadians would widen the gap here. Kirk Muller, the former New Jersey Devil, makes it 4-0 Montreal. Now in the second period, a former Hab himself, Sylvain Turgeon, with his 20th, beats Patrick Roy. That made it 4-1. And the hapless Senators would continue their comeback here. Turgeon again from deep beats Patrick Roy, make it 4-2 at that point. The teams would trade goals in the third period, but the final, as you see behind me, Montreal beating Ottawa by of 5-3. Now, also this afternoon, the Battle of Pennsylvania was waged in Pittsburgh, and the winner there, the Pittsburgh Penguins beating Philadelphia. For Pittsburgh, it was Francis McEachran Stevens with his 40th, and Jaromir Jagr. For Philly, it was Recchi and Rod Brindamore. So the final 4-2, Pittsburgh continues to dominate that Patrick division. This evening on Molson Hockey Night in Canada, 2 games are on the schedule. The injury-depleted New York Rangers, minus Mark Messier, Brian Leetch, and James Patrick, invade Maple Leaf Gardens to take on the Leafs. So viewers in Ontario East will see that one, while Manitoba and Provinces West can watch the Detroit Red Wings with newly acquired Paul Coffey in Vancouver against the Canucks, who have hockey's best home ice record. Continuing with hockey for a moment, next Saturday night, the famed 1972 showdown between Canada and the Soviets will return to the airwaves with the Summit on Ice, a 2-hour special insight and remembrance to hockey's greatest international series. Now, speaking of the best, the top 2 seeds on the women's side met late last night at the Australian Open in Melbourne. Number 1 seed Monica Seles against second-ranked Steffi Graf as the final carried into 3 sets.
Seles and Steffi Graf.
Down under in Melbourne again with the Australian Open title at stake. Steffi Graf, who won Wimbledon last summer, took the measure of Seles in the opening set, wrapping up a 6-4 win.
First set to Graf.
So the Germans celebrate for Graf, but in the second set, Seles was able to handle Graf's serve, twice breaking through to even the match with a 6-3 triumph. And she carried that momentum into the third set, and after building a 5-2 lead with her booming serve, broke Graf yet again. Monica Seles completes a 6-2 third set triumph, winning the Australian Open. So Seles storms back to take the final 2 sets of her 3rd consecutive Australian Open crown. Altogether, she has won 8 Grand Slam titles. The men's final is set for 10 Eastern Time tonight. Defending champion Jim Courier is up against Sweden's Stefan Edberg. Edberg has won the Australian Open 3 times, but last year lost to Courier in 4 sets. First up today, freestyle skiing from Lake Placid, New York. Now, although freestyle is relatively a new competition in international sport, Canadians have dominated it since the early days when it was known as hot dog skiing. In a moment, Elfie Schlegel will introduce us to the new names making impressions on the freestyle skiing route when Sports Weekend continues right after this.